Welcome to the Good Parent, Bad Parent podcast by Kenneth and Kenneth. I have my friend and my super guest co-host, that is Khan, my man Khan. What's up, Khan?
Hey, how you doing?
All right, good to see you, bro.
Thank you for having me back.
Hey, it's always good to have you. We're going to talk about back to school shopping. A lot of you parents are going through this right now. It's back to school time. You are spending money and you're spending lots of it on laptops and clothes and Jordans and all these expensive things that you never had. So we're going to talk about this. All right. Khan, what was the first day of school like for you?
And I was nervous because I was more focused on having my best outfit on,
Right.
my new shoes.
Mhm.
I didn't put on those shoes till this day. And I remember I had some suede Pumas with some thick laces, some thick neon laces, and I thought I looked fly. So I was kind of nervous because, I knew other people were going to be sporting that day.
What year was that around, if you had to guess?
Man, when I started really sporting, it was probably in middle school.
Right.
Probably 1984, 85.
Right.
When that movie Breaking came out.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, when they had all the jumpsuits on.
Yeah.
I wanted one.
Man, I asked Google, how important is back to school shopping for kids? This is what Google said, all right? It said back to school shopping is highly important for students as it provides the physical tools needed for class, ensures they have well-fitting clothes, and helps them feel prepared and confident. Additionally, shopping together can serve as a collaborative bonding experience between parents and children. Was shopping with your parents a bonding experience?
No, I wasn't. Because my parents were always trying to get me the most affordable stuff. Means if a pair of Bobos was in their budget, I was going to be wearing some Bobos.
I know what you mean. What age did your parents stop buying your school clothes?
When I started working.
Right, but I'm asking what age because right, I don't know, they don't know. What age is that?
I think they stopped buying me my own clothes probably around 15. When they knew that I was out there, making my own money and I could make my own choices. So they were happy to let me go and make my own choices now at that point. What about you?
Actually, it was the same age in seventh grade. When I was 14, I had a summer job, and that's when I first started buying my school clothes. And that was the last time that my parents bought me school clothes, was in the seventh grade. Now, let's talk about our children for a minute.
Sure.
At what age did you stop buying their clothes?
I'm gonna be honest. I spoiled them a little bit more than my parents did.
I think we all did.
I'm still paying for some stuff.
And they're grown-up people, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I stopped buying my daughter's clothes when she was 19.
19?
Yeah, but most of us, it was 14, 15.
Okay.
Things have changed, right?
And the stuff they wear is a lot more fashionable than we had. It's more expensive.
That's why it's more fashionable, because it's more expensive.
Yeah.
That goes along with it.
That's
Higher
right.
price, the more fashionable, right?
Right.
Like Jordans and stuff. You got parents right now, that are like trying to afford these Jordans. Oh, they have to be these ultra expensive ones, a rare make of Jordan and, $200, $300. And a lot of parents can't afford it.
Correct. And look, Kenneth, as a parent, myself now, that I remember how it was like when I was young, where I couldn't have some things. And so, I said to myself, when the kids get older, whatever they would like, to have, I'm going to try to see if I can give it to them.
We all said that.
Yeah.
But did it really help? Did it make them more grateful? Be honest. The answer is no for most people.
I think if you worked hard for something, and you bought it yourself, you'd be more grateful. You take better care of it.
That wasn't the question. The question was, with your extra hard work and you spending all the money buying things that you did not have yourself, did that make them grateful? Did that make them as grateful as you would have been if you had that opportunity? Or were they just kind of accustomed to it, so it really wasn't a big
They got
deal?
accustomed to it.
Right, so the answer is no. You keep dancing around it. Come on, man. The answer is no. For my kids, the answer is no too, because once they get accustomed to it and they don't know anything different, they're kind of like, oh, this is normal, right?
That's right.
All right, check out this, right?
All right.
It says school spending is expected to reach $38.8 billion in 2026.
Wow.
Okay. Now, let's talk about the same spending back in 1985. Now, keep in mind, 38.8 billion. In 1985, it was 4.3 billion to 8.6. Not even close.
Not even close.
Not even close.
Wow.
Because parents who grew up poor, they say, oh, I'm going to make sure my kids have everything. They give them everything. And guess what? It doesn't help. Clothes isn't going to make you a great person, right? Sure. It helps you in society of school, right? In the school society, but that's it. It doesn't help you when you're on the streets, unless you're going into fashion.
Correct.
You know?
Yes.
Or unless you're talking about professional dress clothes, suits and things, you know, because of course that can open up doors based on your appearance when you talk about business, right?
Yeah. That's an investment.
Absolutely.
That's an investment.
Now, answer me this. Have you ever been teased or a clown because of your clothes?
I did. That's why I bring up bobos, because that's the first word I learned.
Well, a lot of people don't know what bobos mean. So.
All right, let me school you guys up on some bobos. So bobos, some clown shoes, right? So I had my dad. I guess it was a sale on some shoes at Kmart, and I didn't want to go into Kmart, and I definitely didn't want those I wanted those tracks with the Velcro, because at least I can make an X out of the Velcro. But he bought me these fake Converse, and they were curled up like some bananas, unripened bananas. And I wore first day of school. I went to school, and it was some kids staring at my feet. And one of the kids said, "Man, I could skate off them shoes." I said, "You like the Iron Sheik? They curled up." And then one kid said, "Man, you know what those are? Those are some bobos." And from there on, I never wore those shoes back to school again.
Absolutely. I mean, I can most certainly relate to that. I've been teased because of my clothes and shoes. I remember, man, I was getting teased so hard that even the girls are like, yo, chill out. You know, and I was just like, okay, these dudes are trying to turn me into a serial killer, you know? They're trying to turn me into a psycho. But I was like, no, you know, at some point. But what that does to you is it can create a rage within you, because after that, that's kind of when I started getting into fights and stuff, you know, because I was like, no, I'm not going to take this. You know, I'm going to start knocking people silly, right?
So Kenneth, let me ask you this.
What?
What was the one piece of clothing that you wore to school that was you weren't proud of?
All of it. What are you talking about? It was some of it. It was all of it. What are you talking about, bro? Okay, it's like this, right? How many clothes would you get for your school year?
I wouldn't get
clothes and shoes. Like
back
if you had to name them, right? When your parents were buying your school clothes, what did you get? Name us the list.
Man,
how many pair of pants, shoes, shirts?
I probably had 4.
Mm-hmm.
4 outfits, and I would rotate them.
Right.
You know, and they better be washed quick.
4 outfits, that's balling, bro. That's balling. You have 4 outfits. I got 2 pair of pants, 3 shirts, and 1 pair of shoes. Terrible shoes, terrible shirts, terrible pants. That's just what it was, bro. And that's why I started working. But if you notice now, kids now don't want to work.
They don't.
Why the hell should I, want to work when this dummy and this dummy are going to work harder so that I don't have to?
Correct.
And I can still have all the nice things, live in a nice house, have all these wonderful MacBooks and all this stuff, and I don't have to do anything for it. Why would I want to work?
And how many outfits does your daughter have?
Oh, man.
You see?
Man, a lot.
Big difference, right?
A lot of, man, listen, she has so many clothes that she had to throw clothes away.
Wow.
You know, because it was just too many.
Still tags.
And school shopping time, at least 5 pair of shoes.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about expensive ones. I'm not talking about just some, bootleg. No, we're talking Jordans and, all the other things. No Bobos, right? Yeah. I mean, I'll be the first to say I went overboard just because I remember the horrors of it, right?
Yeah.
Because in high school, what else do you have? Your position was ranked on your clothes, your shoes.
That's right.
That's all you had.
That's
so
right.
That was your reputation.
It's funny that you mentioned appreciation and gratitude.
Uh-huh.
Because I tell you where my appreciation and gratitude came from is that toothbrush. I knew how to clean some shoes, make them look shiny, brand new.
Right.
Every time they got dirty, because you had to make them last.
Exactly. You had to make them last. I mean, I remember wearing shoes until they got holes.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
Or the strings break.
remember they used to have the shoe glue that you put on the bottom
Well,
so that you can cover the hole?
I never had that because I don't think they had it at that time, but I remember wearing shoes until it got a hole in the sole, people, or that the strings break because it's so old. You know, growing up in the 70s and the 80s was great. It was terrible. All right, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
All right. Now, let me tell you my experience, right? I remember when I had my first summer job and I bought some brand new clothes. Like this one girl, she was gorgeous. She didn't pay me any attention, right?
Yep.
I bought some new clothes. I came in the next day. She said, "You look different. You know what? You're actually a nice looking guy." Just because I had different clothes on.
Correct.
Right. So that next year I went to a different school and I had all these nice clothes because I bought everything. I was Michael Jackson, bro. I was Michael Jackson. But I went in it, bro. I was Michael Jackson. All the girls, everything. I was a really popular guy. I was the same person.
Yeah.
I just had better clothes.
Yeah.
Because, you know, when you're a young person, your BMX bike
Yep.
and your clothes determine where you ranked in the little status.
Absolutely. But the shoes make a difference because because kids can be mean. First thing they look at is your shoes.
Absolutely.
And your shoes, for some odd reason, determine your status in school.
It does.
You know. But I remember when even though my parents didn't buy me fly gear, you know, I had a friend that he always tried. There's always a kid in school that was fresh.
Right.
He knew how to dress.
Right.
And you know, this kid outgrew his clothes, and he gave me his old clothes, and that's when I started looking fly.
Right.
So
Yes, I got you, bro.
Great experience.
Yes.
I'd say 85 was probably when I was really getting into fashion.
85, I was Michael Jackson, bro.
Not you, Michael
Jackson, bro.
Yeah.
Look, right. I remember telling Kenneth on a different episode that me and my best friend at the time, Corey, we were trying to date this girl. Her name was Jackie. So we're both on the phone, right, talking to Jackie, and you know we're kids, and so we asked her, Jackie, do you like me better or do you like Corey better? She said, Eric, you're more handsome and funny, but I got to go with Corey because he dresses better. I was like, oh, for real?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
At least she told you.
Yeah. And I was, at the time, I think I was 12. So that's when I first realized the power of the dollar and that you were going to need it at all times if there was going to be any female presence, you know, at all, generally speaking, right?
Correct.
So
you're absolutely right.
This is what I want to do. Let's name some of the cheap brands of clothing back in the day.
Rustlers.
And shoes. Rustlers. I remember that.
You light a match off them.
Yes.
Tracks.
The fake Adidas with the 4 stripes. Adidas only has 3 stripes. Tracks have 4. Bootleg.
Yeah.
What else?
Try to see.
Jocks. Remember that?
Yeah.
Those joints look like some bootleg 1960s Converse. They were terrible. They were horrible looking shoes.
Yep.
Kangaroo.
With
the little pouch. You put some change in there, you know, the little stupid pouch. Even though those weren't half bad, all right, you know, if I'm keeping it real.
Yep. You remember wearing the Duron hats?
Those paint hats?
The paint hats, yeah, because you didn't have the
painter hat. You couldn't buy a fitted. You had the stupid paper painter hat.
And they gave them for free.
Exactly. All right. Let's name some of the good brands back in the 80s, like 85, the upscale brands that people would wear. I'll start it.
Okay.
Jordache jeans.
And Jordache was fly.
That was it.
The girls loved them too.
Yes.
Yep.
Sassoon. Yes. Izod. Lacoste.
Yep.
What else?
Guess.
Yes. Fila was it. Of course, Nike, Adidas,
Sergio Valentes.
Yeah. Oh, Timberland boots or
Yes.
Super Tims.
Yep. Britches.
Yeah, britches.
If you had a britches backpack, you had money.
Yeah. And people had Eddie Bauer coats and
Yeah,
stuff.
Eddie Bauer.
Yeah.
Yes.
Those were some of the things. I mean, I'm sitting here on the spot, so I can't think of all this stuff, but that's what I was thinking.
Adidas, always Adidas, even today.
Puma and Adidas, as far as hip hop fashion,
Yeah.
those were the bottom line. Kangol,
Yeah.
Pumas, also Fila. You know, when you talk about hip hop fashion trends, remember those glasses, Gazelles?
Gazelles, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
EKs.
Yep.
Yeah. I really can't think of any more.
AJs.
AJs. Yeah.
AJ.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of hood brands and stuff that I just can't think of 30 something years later because I got more important stuff to do than, to be.
And the girls used to love to wear these jeans. I remember they were called bongos.
I don't remember those.
Yeah. They were up there with Guess.
Mhm.
But jeans were expensive back then. Good pair of jeans were $100.
And back then, yeah, that was a lot.
That's like $200 today.
Yeah. I think parents now, care about what their kids feel a lot more than what our parents did. It was just a different era where parents didn't really consider your feelings or how you felt or what you thought. They were just like, this is what it is. Be quiet. I don't want to hear it.
My dad didn't care, man. I remember a teacher, my first grade teacher, Mrs. Ackley. She showed up in my house or apartment, and she gave me. She said, "Hey, look, Mrs. Nguyen, I got a box of clothing for you because you got a lot. He got a lot of holes in his clothes."
Wow.
Yes, and
Wow.
and from there on, my mom taught me how to stitch and close holes.
Wow.
But that's the kind of clothing I used to go to.
I definitely had a couple of holes too, so
Yes.
I can't even fake on you, right?
But there was a such thing called moth.
Right.
Yeah, they would eat your gear.
Yeah, but if you buy your kids so many damn clothes, the moths don't have a chance to eat.
You're right.
Because they're rotating out clothes.
Correct.
In closing, did you have anything to say before we close out?
I think that from my experience, if you worked hard, you went out there and worked hard, made your own money, bought your own stuff, you appreciate it lasts a lot longer.
Right.
You appreciate like our very first car.
Mhm.
Nowadays it seems like it's a given that the kids expect their parents to help them out by getting a car for them. But we didn't have that choice.
We didn't have that choice.
You didn't have that choice. You remember saving up to get your very first car.
Mhm.
And boy, you took care of it, right? I don't
Yep.
know how many times you armor all those wheels.
Yeah, that's real.
But I think from my the generation has changed, but back when I had to work for everything, man, it lasted.
It lasted.
Everything lasted.
Yeah, because you worked for it. You earned it. So
What do you think, Kenneth?
absolutely. When you work for it yourself, yeah, you're going to take care of it. But in closing, to all the parents out there that are going school shopping, don't get yourself in all this debt. Don't rack up all this crazy debt. I know you want your kids to have nice things, and that's cool that you actually care because parents before didn't give a damn. All right. But don't get yourself into all this debt and make things crazy. And kids, try to be reasonable and don't ask your parents for all these outrageous, crazy things to just put them in debt. That's it, right?
Hey, that's right. And don't buy no Bobos.
Don't buy no Bobos because you'll get clapped. Let's be clear on that.
That's
We'll
right.
see you next time. Peace.